What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and we have another replay, but this time it's going to be GOAT format. Last video was Edison, so let's see what's going on. Playing against relearning Yugioh or some shit. He beat me earlier because I made a massive misplay, so it really pissed me off. So I got to rematch him, and let's see what happened. So he did kick my ass earlier because I misplayed like a motherfucker. So I win the rock, paper, scissors. That's clutch as shit to win the rock, paper, scissors. I open Deco, Sangin, Tribe, Upstart, Spy, and Tsukiyomi. I swear, every time I play this guy, I draw straight monsters, always. Same was happened when I played him earlier. So he's got Spy, Duo, Morphing Jar, Deco, Solemn, and Book. He fires the Duo right away. I'm like, sure, you got me. You got the Duo. He gets rid of my Sangin, and I decide to throw out Tribe because I think it's the less connecting in my hand right now. Maybe if I would have known he had Spy and thought about Spy, maybe I should have kept it, but it is what it is. So he has nothing to stop my face down. He sets a Deco and sets a Book of Moon and says go. I draw into my Duo. Alright, so let's fucking go. I flip the Spy right away. Put him in defense. And this is kind of a misplay. I should have probably duoed first, but I decide to poke and then I duo after I attack. Because I don't know why I did that, to be honest. That was pretty stupid, but it is what it is. Should have probably duoed first. So I get his Spy, and then I get his other Spy. So that was clutch, actually. Get rid of both the Spies. I set a Deco and say go. He draws into Regeki Break. He sets Morphing Jar, sets Regeki Break, and sets Solemn and says go. Now, when he does this, I know this guy plays Morphing Jar, so I just big brain play him here, and I just bring everything out because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I flip the Deco into Thunder Dragon, and I'm pretty sure it's a Morphing Jar down there. So I decide to special summon the Chaos Sork. If you got Torrential, you got Torrential. Kill your Jar, whatever. We'll be damn near even on card advantage still. So I attack, and to nobody's surprise, it's a Morphing Jar. So let the games begin. He draws BLS, Book, Upstart, Deco, and Thunder Dragon. I got Solemn, Breaker, Jar Greed, Heavy, and Deco. And I hit him for 1100 and decide to set Solemn and set Jar Greed and say go. This comes back. He draws Magician of Faith for turn. And he discards Thunder Dragon. He plays the Upstart, draws into Ring. He drops the BLS right now on me, and I decide to just Solemn right here. I'm just like, fuck it, you better use a Solemn, and that's what he does. I bait out a Solemn right there. So that was pretty clutch right there. I got a plan to beat him, so he pays half his life, I pay half my life, puts me at 4,000, and he decides to just crash instead of use the effect. And I got the Ring, and then he decides to Book a Moon to put him face down. So now he's wasting more cards trying to save his BLS. So, I mean, he did. It is a 1-for-1, he did. But, I mean, he's just using resources up to protect it. So, then he sets a Deco and sets a Ring and says go. I end phase Jar of Greed. I draw into Knock and Pot of Greed. So, instantly fire the Heavy. I'm like, fuck it. If you got another Solemn, you got another Solemn. He chains Ring on the side, on the, Chaos Sork and Regeki Break on the Deco. It doesn't chain Book of Moon. So I flip my guy back up. I thought he did. Would have been pretty stupid. And I have Pot of Greed. I draw. And I draw Magician of Faith and Upstart. Now, if I fire this Upstart, I don't beat him here. So I'm just going to go for the game because he's at 1150. I knock the Sork. And I knock the BLS. And he knows what time it is. I'm just going to switch to Spine attack. And I was going to run out Breaker. So glad I didn't duo first. Because if I would have duo first, I wouldn't have got a Spy probably. Because he would have drew into Spy. And that would have been a totally different game. So attacking that Deco first really won me that entire game, I feel. Because I would not have been able to get by that Spy at all. So game 2. He's got Thunder Dragon, Faith, Solemn, Tsukiyomi, Spy, and Book of Moon. I've got all monsters again. Go figure. Chaos Sork, BLS, Breaker, Sangin, and Spy. Always straight monsters. He decides to set Spy and set Book of Moon and say go. I draw on the Solemn Judgment. Always one trap, 5 monsters. So I run the Breaker out and he uses Book of Moon on it. I set Solemn and say go. It's my only play. He draws to another Magician of Faith. He flips up his Spy, gets a Spy in defense, and pokes into my Breaker. and then summons Tsukiyomi and sets his Solemn Judgment and says go. I draw into Tribe Infecting Virus. I decide to set Spy and just say go. He draws into Sinister, so he has no way of getting past my Spy right now. So he crashes. I did board one Spy out here for 2 mind controls and a Kaiku, which I probably shouldn't have, but it doesn't matter. So he crashes into my Spy. I get my Spy, and he summons Tsukiyomi, and that's all he can pretty much do because his hand is pretty much dead right now. I draw into Heavy Storm. Pretty simplified game state here. I set my Sangen and just say go. He draws into Chaos Sork now. Decides to switch his Spy. Crash into my Sangen. I go search Magician of Fate. He sets his Fate and says go. I draw Jar of Greed for turn. I set the Jar of Greed and just pass. He draws into a knock, I want to say, maybe. Not really sure. I missed what card he drew. But instead of flipping his Fate, because he can't flip his Fate there, he has no spells engraved. I'm pretty sure. No, he has a Book of Moon, so why would he not flip it there? And I draw into Snatch Steel, and I'm just saying go. I'm just like, fuck it, I got nothing. And now he decides just to set Magic Drain and say go. Now I draw into a knock, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna knock the shit. It's been sitting here forever. I don't know what it is. I know the other one's Spy, so I fire the knock, and he's got Magic Drain. So I throw out Heavy Storm, like, sure, whatever. 2 for 2, let's go. I draw Agreed. I set my Fate and set Ring and say go. He draws in a Duo. So pretty good draw for him. He tries to knock, I instantly soul him, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna soul him here. Something told me to do, and I did it. He switches his Spy, and I go get knocked back, which is going to come in clutch later. He duos me, which is fine. And he gets the knock, and Tribe, I throw out Tribe. I'm just like, fuck it, I don't need him. No reason. He can't get past my board right now, so fuck it. I draw into Delinquent Duo here, and decide to fire the Duo right away because I check his graveyard, and he's got Sinister. And if I don't do it now, he's going to get Sinister, and it's just going to be even deader. So he forgot to get a Sinister back, which is clutch. So I get 2 Thunder Dragons, which sucks, but it is what it is. And now I just have this simplified game state. He can't sack any of his Darks right now. So he can't get a Dark in the grave for his Chaos Orc. So I literally just, no, I run out the Chaos Orc here. I'm just like, fuck it, let's just run him out. And I banish the Spy. He draws in a Deco. Then he gets a Sinister back. Decides to set Deco and say go. I draw into a knock, which is clutch, and I decide just to crash right into the whatchamacallit, and I knock his Deco, nullifying more Dark. So no, he's got a Dark engraved because he has the Spy. I attack the Spy, but I have to get rid of him anyways, so fuck it. Let's see what happens. He draws into a knock, which is pretty dead. Now he's going to run the Chaos Sork out here. Did not play this as best as he could have played it. So he banishes that, and instead of using Tsukiyomi, he decides to just set the Fate and say go. I have Snatch Steel. I instantly Snatch Steel. He Solemn Judgments it. I'm like, alright, that's cool. He's sitting at 3,100. And I decide to switch the Spy to attack mode. This is where I get him good here. I crash into the Faith, and instead of getting Book of Moon or knock, he decides to get Delinquent Duo because it's like, I'm going to get his BLS. But look what I have face down. So instead of setting Mirror Force, I leave 2 cards in my hand to bait the Duo. Because as soon as he duos me here, I'm just going to flip Ring, and Ring is Chaos Sword for game, and he's at 31. So he draws into BLS, perfect plan, and it works out perfectly because instantly fires Duo. And I wait a little bit, he uses the effect, and I just chain Ring on the Chaos Orc, and that is the game, people. So I did big brain him there. Why he got Duo, I have no idea. When he had every kind of everything, that was so... He made some sussy-ass plays there, not gonna lie. So, is what it is, but GG's. Hit the like, hit the sub. Y'all have a good day or night. Peace out. Bye.